All right. Oh, excuse me. Let's see what we can make of this. Last time we talked, it was the Russian turn. This is part 3. We've had 2 of 3 reinforcements come on. We have Ney's group waiting to arrive. I feel like if the Russians really haven't made significant advances by the time Ney's stuff comes on board, I mean, it's probably pretty much over. That said, I don't know that we'll get to the Ney reinforcements in this video, but just bear that in mind. So as we go through the Russian hand, which should consist of 6 choices, 1, 2, 3. That is the discard hand. I do this every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 choices. So we're looking at attack right flank, probe right flank, cavalry charge, bayonet charge, probe left flank, and scout right flank. Welcome any of you that have just joined. Those of you that will join later and watch later, welcome as well. This is the Battle of Eylau, 3rd installment. Let's choose, and this is for the Russians. I'm going to start working in some cavalry here. This, I've neglected them intentionally the last 2 go-rounds. But I believe it's time to start working them in, probably past time. I do have a cavalry charge card. Allows me to activate 4 or fewer cavalry units. May move 3 hexes and still battle, which is a significant deal. I don't know. So we have cavalry on the Russian left flank. 1, 2 that would benefit from that card, and then in the center, nothing would benefit. On the right, nothing would benefit. So, having just said, we need to light a fire under the cavalry. I just don't think now's the time, but we do need to start advancing the cavalry again. Probably should have already done so. Let's quit prattling on and do an attack right flank for the Russians, which allows us to activate 3 on the right. Oh, gee, how you been, buddy? Eric's table. Always a pleasure, sir. Always an honor to have you and an OG as well. So what did I say, 3 on the right? Let's turn your attention, if you will, to the right side of the battlefield. Doing good, man. Doing good. Hope you're doing well as well. As my coworker says for years, every time I ask her how she is, wonderfully well. I don't believe her because she can't consistently always be wonderfully well. But that's what she says. So 3 on the right. Let's get this cavalry smoking down the field here. It's just gotten a little ridiculous. All right, so that would be 3. And what do we have here? We have two Cossack units and a Lancer. Drawing a blank on movement for those. Well, they can move up to 1 to 3. Lancers should be the same deal. Yeah. It's not even on this chart. 1 to 3 in battle, right? Okay. So let's move those 1 to 3 if we can. Cossacks, let's see, 1, 2. So that would put these guys, in fact, within reach of this horse artillery unit, French horse artillery unit, which is beneficial movement there. And then, we've got 2 knocked over trees, so that's 2 shots. So 3. Right off the bat. Again, for those of you unfamiliar with this rule, whenever I knock over a tree, you do a shot. And that is 3 shots right out the gate. All right. I'll try and be more careful. I don't want everybody drunk before too quickly. 1, 2. Let's put these guys here. 3. And that's our Cossacks. We will commence battle with one of them in a second. And then our Lancers. 1, 2, 3. They can't do anything yet, but we've got to get these guys in the mix at least. I've neglected these folks terribly. All right, let's roll for the Cossacks against that horse artillery unit. That's going to consist of, they can't form squares, so this should go quick. Cossacks are going to roll 2. And melee, yeah, it's going to be 2 dice. Not a lot, but they're Cossacks. What do you expect? Effective in their own respect, but we'll see. What we want is 4s, 5s, or 6s. Now, we got a 5 and a 6, so we're already cooking with gas. The 5 will consist of a hit and the 6 a flag. We'll take that hit as a French, dropping from a 3 to a 2. The flag causes us to retreat 1 hex. And I'm going to allow that because they're horse artillery. I don't necessarily agree with being able to retreat otherwise. I don't know. I'm kind of... I have to lean without knocking everything over. Kind of torn with that rule, the retreat rule when it comes to artillery. If they would actually really be able to, in the heat of melee, retreat, I'm going to say they wouldn't. So that's the Russian turn. Now we go to the French. What do the French have? Should have 5 cards. We'll recenter the camera here. 5 cards. French are looking at attack center, rally, cavalry charge, scout center, and attack right flank. So typically I would go for attack center or attack right flank, and I may yet do that. But let's examine this cavalry charge, at least potential cavalry charge for the French. So that would be, I've already forgotten, 4 or fewer. Yeah, we could counter. We've got Lancers over here on the left that could counter that with the microphone in the way there. That's what that is. Can counter the Cossacks that just push the artillery back. What else do we have? We have, looks like nothing in the snow. We do have a heavy cavalry unit here that could charge. No, they got nothing. So that would be pointless. So at this point, only one of them would benefit from that. On the right flank, I don't think we have anything better. We've got stuff just after a 3 hex move. Nothing that we would be able to charge. So I have to say, the color on the screen versus the color in real life of these flocked hexes, it's just awful. I apologize. But it is just a lush, beautiful green in real life, and really doesn't do it justice on the screen. All right, so let's do the right flank, because we got a big chunk of cavalry on the right flank that we can move up, and that's what we want to do. So let me bring those in camera focus there and move them up. How's that, huh? And what do we have? We have cuirassiers. Let's move them first. And that is 1 to 2. And so we'll move them up 2. Put them right here. And this is 3 units. Well, that was just retarded. Why did I do that? We have to, I guess it doesn't matter. All right, overthinking this. Putting them there, that's where they're going, and that's that. And then 2 more units. We've got these fellers. These fellers and these folks. Looks like light cavalry should be 3. And it is. So if we go along the side of the crosshairs, 1, 2, 3. Let's go straight up as much as we can. 1, 2, 3. That puts them right here. This is our light cavalry. Okay, and then guard light cavalry. Same deal, 3 hexes. So 1, 2. That'll get them on the hill. Guard light cavalry. But bottom line is we're getting them as well in the mix. We're getting the needle in the groove. That's what we want there. All right, so that's the French. Back to the Russians. A little anticlimactic at this point, but again, we've got to get the cavalry moving up. All right, back to the Russians. We've got options. So, cavalry charge. Did I do that wrong? I may have done something wrong. What is that? Light cavalry. Yeah, no, we're good. Russians, we still have a probe right flank, cavalry charge, bayonet charge, probe left flank, scout right flank, and another cavalry charge. Cavalry charge is again 3 hexes and still battle. We've got 1 that can go. 1, I think that's it again. 1 not within range, 1 not within range. Still not ready as the Russians to. No, hold on. 1 there. That would be 2. Yeah, we can do this. Let's go ahead and finally use one of these cavalry charge cards and draw a different one. 4 or fewer units. We grab 4 of these. 4 or fewer units. Well, it's got to be in the same section. No, it doesn't. It doesn't specify that. All right, so 4 or fewer. We can use these. So more Cossacks can do stuff. We go here. I'll fix the camera in a second so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. 1, 2. So there's 2. They're going to charge the horse artillery again. So that's 3. Try not to knock over trees. And then, is that it? I think that's it. So we got 3 of 4 that can actually move and reach things. Let's start with the Russian right. And that is just Cossack units up to 3 in battle. Let's bring the camera over there. Right there. We'll start with this unit here. Place them. So, and that reminds me, I forgot to do the battle back on that horse artillery unit. I should have done that. We'll fix that in a second. We'll come back. Let's do this first. Cossacks, that's going to be 2 dice. But we need to roll for, not roll. We want to form squares, the French, right? So that means we need a square counter. There we go. And we have to discard one of the cards in our hand in order to do so. Which is a neat little mechanic. A little gamey, but I can handle it. So we'll put that in over here. Oh, I'm going to remember that the way I remember stuff. So now we're going to briefly refresh ourselves on how to attack a square. I think it's one die. Infantry squares, bounce flag. When you hold 2, okay. The infantry unit and square will battle first with 1 die. Here we go. He gets a 3, wanting just that, 3s. What is Cossack's? How many blocks is in the Cossack unit? Looks like 2. So they've already cut them in half. But they can battle back. So they're now a 1. And they will battle back with 1 die, I believe. A flag would cause them to bounce. But we didn't roll a flag. And then if infantry in square, the cavalry unit is not eliminated. 1 battle die. All right, so let's roll that, and we get nothing. So the French got the better of that deal, and that brings us to the next cavalry charge. Same deal, but we're forcing. So again, you may think, well, this is pretty useless as the Russians to do this. However, if you do this, if you time it, that's the art of using your cavalry, is timing it, and I'm terrible at this. But if you do it properly, you cause these fellers to form square, and then just decimate the squares with artillery and things of that nature. So we'll form, now we force this grenadier unit to form square. That forces another card out of our hand. So see, they're depleting us tactically as far as what we're able to do. They attack first again with 1 die, and they get a flag, which is a bounce flag. This forces the cavalry unit to bounce away from the square. And all flags roll to square. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but let's say they bounce 1 hex. So that's that. I think I don't. There's a lot I do like about this system, but there's a few things I don't. And you can argue it's taste, and you can't argue with taste. And these guys don't need to be a square anymore since they're not adjacent to a cavalry unit. But I kind of miss the. You never have units that are like disordered or anything like that in this game. It's kind of weird. You're either hacking away sections of a unit or you're not. There's no in between, really. I guess you could argue the retreat thing is a kind of disorder. But so that brings us over here. I got to move this microphone down because it's in the way. All right, so back to good Lord. Why are we so crooked? It's ridiculous. We need to roll for the horse artillery that didn't battle back the last turn. Then again, we forced them to retreat, so I'm going to say they can't. All right, let's just start anew. So Cossacks 1 die against artillery, looking for not a 1, which is what we rolled. I am going to allow horse artillery to battle back with canister now. That's going to be 2 dice, I believe. Let me verify that with the French. Horse artillery melee with 2 blocks is 3 dice. Okay, fair enough. 3 dice it is. That should be able to get rid of the cavalry. We did roll a 3, which is what we want. A 2 and a 4 is not what we want. So we didn't get rid of them, but we cut them in half. So we got two half-sized Cossack units running around here. Back to the center. So cavalry makes its introduction into this series, folks. That was the Russian turn. Back to the French. They should have 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and they do. Because we still have one French line unit in square. So that reduces our hand by 1. What are our choices? Our choices consist of another cavalry charge if we so desire. Scout center, attack center, rally. Would cavalry charge work for us at this point? Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3. Yes for 1. 1, 2, 3. No. Yes for 2. 2's not enough to force me to use this card yet. I'm going to wait until I can benefit more from it. As a result, I'll choose attack center, allowing me to activate 3 units, 3 French units. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but this is somebody, person known as Khosrow Sorabji. Sorabji is considered one of the most complicated composers, writers of music. Sorab as in boy, Ji, just for those of you that care. Let's push this guard heavy cavalry up, this heavy cavalry unit up, and these guys are right on the cusp, but we can still activate them. The guard light cavalry here, pushing them up. Guard heavy cavalry, I'm going to guess 2, right? Yes. And we've got folks in the way, so we're going to have to detour. That's these guys right here. 1, 2. Ever the cautious advance, still in advance. So they're done. And then heavy cavalry is going to be 2 as well. 1, 2. We got a little pathway there. Again, as I've come to learn and already stated, with this Napoleonic stuff, you really have to account for the congestion of troops that is involved when you're trying to maneuver across the battlefield, friendly info. So, and then guard light cavalry should be just 3, correct? 1, 2. Do we want to veer? Yes, right. 1, 2, 3. Now we're getting somewhere.
Discover what you're capable of. Peloton, let's go. Work out to
Cavalry is finally physically exerting, inserting themselves. That's the French turn. I will kill that ad and go back to the Russians. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yes, we're good. Russians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pro right flank. What is that? Let's go back here. Pro right flank, we have bayonet charge. Pro left flank, scout right flank, and cavalry charge, scout left flank. Let's re-examine the cavalry charge possibility. Do we have 4 units yet? Well, there's 1. I think we had them last time, right? 2, 3. Is it still just 3? I think that's what we had last time. 1, 2. Looks like still just 3, so. I'm gonna hold off on that just yet. Let's probe right flank. Because we can. Probe right flank. 2 units on the right. Arguably a wasted move, but that's what we're going to do. Give it a shot. Probe right flank. What was that? 2 units on the right. Let's continue this little sideshow there with the Cossacks and the horse artillery. Additionally, let's bring these lancers further up. That'll be our 2 units. 1. Where do we want to go with them? Let's go 1, 2. And check this out. We can smash into the flank of this line unit by doing so. Awesome. All right, let's resolve those things up. Move the camera. So right over here, we've got these Lancers. I believe they're Lancers. Yes, these Lancers right here that have smashed into the flank of that light infantry unit with an attached commander. And then we still have the drama between the Cossacks and the horse artillery here. Let's do that first and get it over with. It's going to be 1 for the Cossacks, looking for the die to stay in the tray. Looking for, 6, which is a flag, cannot be ignored. Pushing them back ever further goes the horse artillery. As a result, the Cossacks advance another hex and are still adjacent to the horse artillery. I could argue the horse artillery cannot battle back because they withdrew. They're withdrawing, they're not battling back. So that leaves this smashing of the Lancers into this side of this French light unit. They're going to have to form square whether they want to or not. That's just how it goes. Put a square marker on them. We have to discard a card for doing so. So now we have 2 of our 5 card hand discarded for squares. They get to battle back with, what was it, 1 die? You see what I mean when I say I can't remember things? I believe it was 1 die. One die. Here it goes. What do they want? They want 1s, 2s. We'll take a 5. I'll even go with a 6. But we got a 3. Awesome. Nothing. Battle back. They get 1 die. They're going to want 3s, 5s, and 6s. They got a 4, so nothing there either. However, here's a house rule, our first house rule of the game, and I'm proud of this because I typically do this too much, but so far I haven't done it. This is our first house rule. I'm going to argue that since it is a bona fide flank attack, and they were probably caught with their pants down when it came to forming a square, I'm going to give the Lancers 1 more die, and they get a hit. So I think that's fair. That drops that light infantry unit from a 3 to a 2, so now they're half strength. I try not to house rule. I'm trying to be better about the house rule thing because you can just go hog wild on that, and then it's pure anarchy and chaos. And then everybody's doing it, and then okay. That was a Russian turn. Back to the French. Who should have how many cards? 3, and they do. Our 3 cards consist of Raleigh, Scout Center, and Cavalry Charge. I should use this Raleigh at this point, especially and here's a bit of a tactic for playing this game. I'm going to hold on to this Raleigh card until I can really benefit more from it. However, with 2 squares eating up 2 cards from my hand, I can't just sit on this card and not use it because that essentially reduces my hand to just 2 cards. So you want to play it. I don't want to play it, but I need to. So we're going to roll battle dice equal to command held in your hand, and you could argue this is a bad time to do it as well because our hand is so small. But we gotta do something here, and I think more squares are going to have to be formed as well. So we'll roll 3 dice because that's how many cards we have in our hand. Let's see, symbol rolled. 1 block of this type is returned to any understrength unit anywhere on the battlefield. So we have.
So I guess it's time to
For each number rolled, one block of this type is returned.
Ryan, what's this?
Hi, Dad. This game is awesome.
It's not a game, son. It's a top-of-the-line learning app.
So here's some weirdness. Shut up. So here's some weirdness. For each symbol rolled, one block of this type is returned to an under strength unit. Blah, blah, blah. Now, each symbol rolled. So we rolled 2 6s, so we don't have units that are flags. So I'm guessing we can't benefit from that. It doesn't say choose whatever unit you want if you roll a flag, which some other cards do. So the 5 is a Sabres. We got nothing for using that card. Great. Awesome. That's how it goes. But we freed up our hand for something else. Now the Russian turn. What a wasted turn for the French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Bayonet charge, definitely not time for that. At least, I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Let's wait on that. Probe left flank 2, scout right flank 1, cavalry charge, scout left flank, probe right flank. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this bayonet charge and hope for the best. How about that? Here's why. 4 or fewer units. We've got a bit of some stuff going on here. Hey, Bruce, how you doing, buddy? Welcome aboard. Grab a chair. Make yourself at home. 3, 4. You're just in time for a bayonet charge. Bruce is excited, I'm sure, about that. All right, here we go. Maybe. Draw a new card so I don't forget that. 4 or fewer units, huh? So that definitely means these guys here, this light infantry, Russian light infantry. How far can we move, folks? 2 hexes and still battle. This line unit here, that's 2. I'd love to move these grenadiers up, but in doing so, this is these are frozen pawns, right? If I move across that, I take a casualty. And I don't have enough to go around, and so that's out. So that is 2 units. Ooh, we've got these guys here. Another light unit here. That makes 3. And is that it? I think that's going to be... Can move 2. Nope. We got a... Now these guys only have 1 strength. Oh, these guys here, they're only 2 strength. Just doing that. Trying to be consistent with my casualty marker since I don't have blocks that actually remove. Okay. So we're going to pull, even though they're half strength, which is maybe a bad, we're going to pull this grenadier unit here as well. They have a pre-battle Mother Russia roll they benefited from, so it won't be as bad as it seems. Let's go ahead and start here where the camera is probably, huh? There's that. And then these guys. If we go here, we don't have to battle into the town, which is just horrific as far as modifiers. So we'll do a hell of a pivot here and come up on the rear of this unit in square. I'm probably going to have to look that up and see. We've got 3 units attacking this guy in square here. Let's take that back. Let's go back over. We're going to come back to that in a second. Let's finish this wee little battle over here. Get that out of the way so I can focus. 1, 2. Can still move 2 in battle. That's what I'm going to do. 2. This is a Russian grenadier unit. With the pre-battle Mother Russia nonsense. So that's actually going to be... What is it? Russian Grenadiers. Russian Grenadiers have in melee at half strength, 2 dice. or 2 blocks rather. That's going to be 3 dice, but then they have that pre-battle mother rush roll, brings it back up to 4. So that's 4 dice. We want 1s, 2s, 5s, or 6s, and lo and behold, we get 3 hits. Drops that French line unit down to 1 strength, so they're going to battle back with 1 die. Looking for the same. They got a flag. Can Russian Grenadiers ignore a flag? Let's see. Russian Grenadier may ignore 1 flag, so they're kind of locked in combat. That is done, though. Let's go back over here with this complete conflagration and see how we can work this. We've got 3 infantry units attacking a square. Combine, infantry squares and retreats. Support infantry squares. Square. It's still just 1 die, so I don't see anything else that I need to be aware of. Let's go ahead and start with this unit here, which is our Russian light infantry. Russian light and melee has full strength. That's just 4. I say just 4, but that's a pretty good sum. We got 2 hits and a flag, which makes 3 hits. Why? Because they can't retreat into anything. They can't retreat anywhere, so they have to take a casualty as a result, which means that unit's gone, and that also means a battle flag for victory banner for the Russians. What else does that mean? That means the French get a card back because that unit was in square, but it's not anymore. What else does that mean? We have to roll for casualty to the commander who was attached. If we get 2 5s, he's gone. Oh, I sure get close. I roll A5 every time I do that. He's still good. So he'll move here. And then finally, what does that mean? That means that light infantry unit that caused all of this commotion gains ground and is now where that unit used to be. All of that. Can you believe it? I suppose it matters if they're physically in line or column or whatever. And to be consistent with what I talked about the last filming, so you could flub it and say, well, those 2 guys were going to attack that hex, but they can't now. So let's attack something else. Well, the orders were, if you want to be fair and realistic about it, the orders were to attack that specific unit. And you could use your imagination and say that went on simultaneously, thus causing the eradication of that unit. So that's how we'll do that. All right, back to the center. A lot of stuff going on. All right, French again, but now we have more cards, right? A whopping 4 cards. It's almost a party. 4 cards. Check comments. Let's see. Frozen Ponds. Yes, Frozen Ponds. And then, no, it's not Tchaikovsky. It's a good guess. It's Sorabji, Sorabji, Sorabji. All right, Eric. Thanks for hanging out. For the French Scout Center, Cavalry Charge, Counterattack, Probe Center. Have we moved advanced our cavalry enough to? Yes, maybe. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and use it. So yeah, as expected, this turn is really cavalry. Inundated with cavalry. I'm I'm going to use it if I choose the right card. Here it is. So 4 or fewer, correct? Yes, 4 or fewer. Let's go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to bring... Let's start... Okay, hold on. We'll go here, mark them. So 1. I think it's only 3 that I can use. 2, 3. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll start on the left with these guys here. And they can move up to 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I still can't. 1, 2. No, I can. Let's mark him. 4 or fewer. We've got a full 4 or fewer we can use. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do that. No, we can't because he'll be in the way. All right. Let's go over here. 1, 2, light cavalry. Trying to knock off this pesky little Cossack unit that keeps chipping away at my horse artillery. And that's going to be... I don't know what it's going to be. Let's check. How many dices do we get to roll? Dices. French light, straight French light cavalry. Full strength is 4 dice. That's pretty good. Pretty good, eh? We got to get 4s, though. We got 2 4s. Awesome. So they're gone. The Cossack unit has been wiped off the face of the table, providing much needed relief for that horse artillery. And the French get a victory banner. So we're still neck and neck with 5 victory banners per side. So there's that. If that music's too loud, just say so and I'll make it not too loud. Fair enough. Let's go back here. In fact, I'll just turn it down a notch. We want to go with this heavy cavalry unit against, who is that? That's our friendly Russian grenadiers. We're going to have to form square. See how it feels? Doesn't feel too good, does it? Doesn't feel too good. We have a Russian square. Oh. We almost had a disaster as I knocked over a full bottle of... All right, there we go. Russian square. This card won from the hand. Resolve. So they will get 1 die to battle back. And they want 3s, 5s, or 6s. They got a 5, which is a hit. My heavy cavalry unit is now a 3 strength heavy cavalry unit. They battle back. I think that's just 1 die, right? And they got nothing. So that's how it goes sometimes. Then we have this unit here, guard light cavalry. Let's move you up. There we go. Yay. Guard light cavalry heading towards these Cossacks. Playing a game of chicken. Just going head to head against each other straight up right here. Guard light cavalry. Cossacks are going to form square. That's a joke. They're not going to form square. Guard light cavalry in melee full strength is 4 dice. I'll take it. Let's see what happens here, huh? Something good? Tell me something good. We want 3s. We got no 3s. Otherwise, 5s and 6s. We got a hit and a retreat. They cannot ignore the retreat. They drop from a 2 to a 1. Drops them back. The French guard light cavalry take ground, and I believe if I want to, I can extend this this charge and attack again. I'll have to check the rules. I just remembered that, to be honest with you. Let's see if that's the case. I believe it is. Where is the rules? I've got stuff everywhere. Extended. There we go. That's not it. What was this? Cavalry retiring form. Cavalry bonus attack. Yes. I'm going to have to decide if they can battle back. Here's our bonus. That's going to be the end of them anyway. Another four dice. Looking for... Yeah, that's the end of them. We got 2 6s, which would cause them to retreat 2 hexes, but they can't. We pushed them back that far. So they have to take a casualty. They're only 1 strength anyway, so that's the end of them. Another victory banner for the French. These are cheap, easy victory banners as Cossack units. It's just like almost free yum-yums. Goes back, give me another banner. So now the French have 6 victory banners. And I have to keep track of what I'm doing. All right, put that back. So that was cool. What else? What else can we do? Right there. So technically, yes, if a unit takes a hit, you remove a stand, but I don't do that the way I play it. I have little casualty markers that I use so I can just keep the table thick with units instead of... It's probably easier to do it the way you're supposed to. I don't know. I have to complicate things. I want to keep units on the table just for aesthetics reason. To do that, I have to use hit markers since I don't remove bases or stands. So, yes, they took a hit and they're gone. Russian turn, right? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards because this grenadier unit's in square. And what are our choices? Our choices are skip ads on YouTube. Choices are probe left flank, scout right flank. Really? More cavalry charge. Scout left flank and probe right flank. Where would we cavalry charge? Well, we've got this Cossack unit over here. Where am I pointing? Cossack unit over here. And it's up to 3 in battle, right? Oh, we have 1 there. That's 2. 4 units. If we can get 3, yeah, we can do that. Let's do cavalry charge again. This is a cavalry showcase here this session. All right, do that. Yes. Give me some of these. They can move 3 hexes and still battle, and they get to battle with 2 additional dice, which I have been neglecting. Sorely neglecting that. All right, there's 1. That'll be cavalry on cavalry over here. As we have this Cossack unit, I think it's fresh. It's going to pretend like they can affect that light cavalry unit. Well, I beg to differ. So that'll be that. And then we've got these lancers here that I don't know that they can really do anything. 1, 2. Just put themselves in harm's way at this point, I think is all they can do. So we'll wait on them. Nothing really in the center that can move and attack. We come over here and we got a couple things. We've got this half-strength Cossack unit that's going to chisel away some more of that. A full-strength Russian crosshair unit. against this guard like cavalry. That'll be interesting. So it looks like a lot of cavalry on cavalry. Let's finish this Cossack unit here against that square. I'll try and bring you in better here on camera. How's that? Is that better? Again, that's one die. They got nothing, and then the square battles back, and they get nothing as well. So still locked over here. That moves us to, you know what? And they battle. I just did it again. Battle with 2 additional dice. So I get 2 more dice on that Cossack unit. What do we get this time? 3s. Both 3s, nothing. So it's moot point. We head over here. See how it wants to represent the green hue of these flock tiles, but it just can't get it, and it irks me because it's just so ugly on camera. I swear if you guys could see this in real life, it is a beautiful green hue. I'll shut up about that. All right, so there we go. A big blowout battle. Crosshairs against guard-like cavalry. What do you think? I think having 2 extra dice to do this is probably a good thing. That is Russian crosshairs, which is, oh my god, there's 5 dice as it is. Are they full strength? So they're already at 5 dice. Add 2, that's 7 damn dice. I don't even have that many dice. That's a lie. Gotta find more dice. Where's the I need. This is ridiculous. Here we go. What are the chances that guard-like cavalry survives this? Not good. Let's divvy it all up. We want 3s, 5s, and 6s. We got 2 5s, a 3, and a 6. My heavens. What does that mean? That means 2 hits, 3 hits, and a retreat. 3 hits and a retreat. That guard-like cavalry should now be... Yeah, they're down to 1 block, and they retreat. And so we mark that with a strength 1 marker, right? That's how that works. And just like the French benefited from, this Russian cuirassier unit benefits from a bonus attack. They gain ground. They get a bonus attack. And my guess is this guard-like cavalry unit is just going to evaporate before our very eyes. They would have been able to battle back, but they retreated. Now, hold on. I may have done that wrong. Guard-like cavalry, French, can they ignore a flag? Something tells me they can. Yes, they can. So they stay where they... that was a near mistake. So they can battle back because they're guard-like cavalry. Almost slipped. But they are just 1 strength. So it's 1 die, but hey, you know, something. And they got a hit with that 1 die, so good for them. Good on them. This crosshair unit. What is that a strength? How many blocks in a Russian crosshair unit? Just 4. So they're now a 3 strength crosshair unit. And that said, they cannot bonus attack because they didn't break through. So that's done there. Was that it? No, we had the Russian right. Cossack unit. This is sheer suicide, but we've got a brave 2 strength Cossack unit against, oh, there goes 2 more trees. That's 2 more shots. You guys are going to run out of booze. That's like 5 shots tonight. Good Lord. So 2, we're battling uphill. That's an issue. Or is it for cavalry? Let's see. Cavalry, battle, yes. So that's just one die. Again, sheer suicide. That was... they got a 2, which is nothing. The light cavalry battles back. French light cavalry consists of 4 strength, so that's 4 dice. And they want... I've done it again. Bear with me here. French rolled... No, I got to start over because I forgot to add the 2 dice they get for the card, right? So 2 dice, 2 more dice for the Cossacks. 6 is a flag, 5 is a hit. So it wasn't suicide after all. Light cavalry is now 3 strength, was a 4 strength. They'll move up. That is breakthrough for this brave Cossack unit who can continue to attack. So let's just do that. So that would be 1, 2, and then 2 extra dice. What is nothing? That is nothing. So we got another hit. Drops them to a 2 and another flag, but they can ignore that flag, and I forgot to do that the last turn. So let's do that now. Because of the commander, the attached commander. They are down to 2. Let's battle back with 2, but they're battling uphill now. They got nothing. I also needed to roll for a potential commander casualty. I didn't do that. Let's do that now. 2 5s and it happens. No, and I forgot to do that over here as well for the big blowout crosshairs versus guard light cavalry battle. They did get a hit. A few hits actually. 2 5s? No, nothing doing. So a rules error over here that I'm not going to reverse because I got too far ahead of myself. Forgetting that the light cavalry unit could ignore that initial attack flag because they had attached commander. That's the end of the Russian turn. 5 cards. Back to the French. Yeah, I agree. It looks good to keep the figs on the table. Or it doesn't. I mean, you can argue it. It's just a matter of taste. Then French again, right? We still have 1 unit in square, so that's 4 cards. Yes. French choices. Scout center. Boo. Oh, counterattack. So basically, if I want to, that can be yet another cavalry charge card. Let's do this, though. Let's do a coordinated advance. I'm a big fan of the old coordinated advance. 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 in the center. That's generally how that goes. 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Let's see what this light cavalry unit... Nope. Let's see what this horse artillery unit can do point blank against some stinky Cossacks. That'll be our left, and we'll do 1 on the right. What do we want to do over here on the right? Let's fire with these grenadiers at the Russian line unit, and then in the 2 in the center. Yes. Let's continue this vicious battle for the Eylau town with some crucial melee attacks by the French. All right. Let's start with the left. We've got right about here horse artillery unit firing at Cossacks, pretty much point blank as already stated. Only 2 blocks, quote unquote blocks, which means French horse artillery melee range 2 blocks is 3 dice. Again, we pretend this is canister now. We're going to want 4s, 5s, or 6s on this. We got a 6, which is a flag that cannot be ignored. So it pushes them back 1 hex, whoop-de-doo. But it pushes them off the hill, which is good for the light cavalry unit. He's done. Let's go to the right flank and resolve this stuff you can't see behind the tree. Right in here, we've got a Grenadier unit, 3 strength, firing at this Russian line unit. We went 1s, 2s, 4s, 6s. We got a 1 and a 6, very cool. So 1 hit. According to this, there are only 1 strength, so they're done. The 6 would have pushed them back into this town, but they're done. So there's another victory banner for the French. So a wisely chosen target to fire at there. Let's give the French their victory banner, eh? They deserve it. There you go. Mighty fine shooting there, Tex. And then we get a roll. Look, can we roll 2 5s? We cannot. So that commander is going to retreat. He's going to retreat to the town. Knocking over another tree. I think it is the 5th shot of the game. Back to the center with all this melee business. Now there's going to be some battle back as well, if you remember. So let's take care of that. We'll start with, well, you guys can see this. Start with a unit in one of the Eylau towns. Melee versus, so who is that? That's line versus light. Both units have attached commanders, so flags can be ignored. Let's see what happens. French first, and that is a full strength line unit, which means 4 dice. Plus 1 die, because the French gain +1 versus infantry and melee. Can you believe it? I remembered that. All right, 1s, 2s, 5s, or 6s. A hell of a roll. We got 3 hits, 4 hits. So we got a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 5. Those are all hits. That's the other thing, for those that don't know. I don't use the dice that come with the game. I hate them. They're too large. The symbols are too preschool looking for me. So I use actual dice and just write down on a card what each number represents. So 1 and 2 is your infantry symbol. 3 is your cavalry symbol. 4 is your artillery symbol. 5 is saber, and 6 is flag. It does conform to the same odds as the included horrible commands and colors dice. I can't take myself seriously and use those damn dice, so there's that. Seems like the French have a boatload of victory banners now. Roll 2 5s for the attached commander. Can we do that? No, still can't do it. So they'll retreat to this line unit here. And then we have, and there's no battle back because we completely wiped that unit out. Is that another line unit? Yes, it is. Full strength, same deal, 5 dice. And we went the same numbers. We got 1 hit, and this time we suffered horribly. We only got 1 hit, so there will be battle back on the Russian part. They drop from 2 5s, attached commanders. So that Russian light unit drops from a 3 to a 2. They're now half strength. They will battle back with 2 dice against the French. 2 dice against the French coming right up. And they got a flag. Well, lucky for the French, they have options. They have an attached commander, which allows them to ignore a flag. But even if they had to retreat, they still could. So nothing doing there. That was the French turn. It will be the Russian turn, but I need to check now. Probably passed it up. I hope I didn't. I need to check and see if Ney comes on. Ney comes on after, with his reinforcements, after the 14th French command card is played. Now, how many have we played? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, we kind of passed that up by 3 cards, but they had a couple cards that were just quick nonsense cards, so I don't feel too bad. Where does Ney's troops come on at? It's another question. And that's a good question. I'm glad you guys asked it. Ney's troops come on anywhere on the French left flank. That's major. So, I mean, you could be deep in Russian territory here. And there's a lot of stuff coming on for Ney. We've got 3 line units, a light unit, a grenadier unit, a light cavalry unit, and a commander. That's a lot of junk coming aboard. So, just a quick overview. There's really no point in bringing them up along the rear there. It's just going to take forever to move them up the battlefield. Midfield, you could argue, would be a good place to insert them. Then again, I feel like we could just create complete havoc and chaos if we put them starting with the rearmost. I'll show you what I mean. I need a way to transport these guys over there. We'll use the dice tray. Let's make sure the camera is up enough so you can enjoy the full deployment of these fellers. All right, here we go. Let's load the dice tray up with stuff. For those that just joined us, this is Ney joining the fray. Should have done so 3 cards ago, but I was caught up in the action. I don't know if Ney is marching to the sound of the guns necessarily here, but all right, there's one trip. It's going to take a second. I apologize. This is probably not the most fun for everybody, but here's what can happen if we do this correctly. We can immediately start attacking this victory hex where a grenadier unit is stationed, which is exciting. We can fire at that hex as well from here. So that's 2 units that can affect change against that victory hex. Make that 3 units that can affect change. We can only enter on the edges here. 1 unit can conduct melee if desired. The other 2 can fire. We'll attach the commander here. So that's 3 versus 1 there. And then we'll put these guys right here. We need to disrupt this foot artillery. That's, I guess it's a light unit. I don't even know why I marked it. And then we've got some light cavalry coming on. And a grenadier unit. It's like a full buffet here of French on the table. It's the proverbial Denny's Grand Slam of French breakfast arriving on the table. I want to put these light cavalry back so they can run behind enemy lines, hacking and slashing. That's the idea. And then our grenadiers. I really want to put them next to the Cossacks, but the Cossacks suck. And if anybody can deal with it, the grenadiers can. So it may suck for a turn or 2 while the Cossacks flex there another tree. I think that's 7 shots now. There's another tree. Good Lord, I'd be puking. There's our grenadier units here. So there's the full deployment as advertised of Ney's mass of human infantry there. All right. Russian turn, correct? Yes. That's showing up on camera. I don't know why this camera is so this and that way. It's the best I can get it to go. Russian choices, we still have that unit in square, so 1, 2, 3, 5 choices. Scout left flank, terrible. Probe left flank, not a whole lot better. Probe right flank, nope. Scout right flank, let's attack left flank. That means 3 units on the Russian left can attack. I may do 1 or 2 more turns and then call it a night here. Let's finish this Russian left attack first. Let's see if we can resolve this. So there's that. And then we'll see if we can resolve this. This being the crosshairs versus the guard light cavalry. And let's fire with some line units at the guard light cavalry. All right. First things first, we're going to fire with, where's my pointer stick? Can't see without the stick. There we go. All right. Cossacks are yet again going to try to do something to this French square. I don't know what. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what they want. And that's just, how many dice? That's just 1, because square, yeah. They got a 5, which is a hit. So that 4 strength French square is now 3. They battle back, though, with just 1 die because they're in square, and they're going to want... Oh, we got a 6. That is a retreat. Forces them back. Can't ignore that retreat, so they push them back. So that's the end of that. And then, why is it hot in here? Let's go over here. Over here is crosshairs versus guard light cavalry. And that is 3 dice coming at you. Correct. It's just 3 dice. Crosshairs. Let's double check that. Russian crosshairs, 3 strength, is in fact 4 dice. So good thing I checked that. 4 dice. What do we get? We got hit. And wow, okay. Guard light cavalry's done. Victory banner for the Russians. No battle back for the French. Knocked out guard light cavalry unit. And can gain ground from doing that, so they will advance. I'll do that now. Gain ground here. Here. Done with that. And then is that it there? No, we're going to fire. No, we don't see it. The other thing I was going to do was fire with this line unit at that French cavalry unit, but they're done. So nothing to fire at. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, draw a card. We'll do 1 more French turn and then call it. So French choices. Who's still in square for the French? No, these are not in square anymore. That Cossack unit withdrew. So we can draw a new card for the French back to our max hand size of 5 cards, and choices consist of counterattack. Scout center, probe center, attack, left flank, probe center. counterattack could be interesting, but I don't want to use it based on what the Russians just did. I'll wait on that. That means attack left flank. Yeah, let's do that. Attack left flank. 3 units on the French left. That'll give us a good opener for Nay's stuff that just came on. Let's bring the camera is acting like it's drunk. Let's go right over here. So 3 units on the French left. Yeah, I know just the 3. This town is about to be ours, so we'll fire with them. We'll fire with them. We'll melee with them. Let's do the firing first. This is the light infantry on the hill. Firing down is going to be 4 dice. However, firing into a town means we cut that to 2 dice. So it's hard to weed troops out of towns, but that's how it goes. We did get 1 hit. So it begins. This light unit is now a 3 strength. Same thing with the line unit. Was that 4 dice for a French light? Or did I read it wrong? French light. Light infantry. Yes. So then the line unit is 4 dice as well. Drops to 2. What do we get? We got nothing. And then melee. It's going to be 5 dice. Subtract 2 is 3 dice. And the Russians will get the battle back. But let's see what happens. We want 2 out of 3 isn't bad. That's another 2 hits on that Russian unit. So not ours yet, but soon to be. That drops to 1. They'll battle back with 1 die against the French line. And get what? What do they get for their trouble? Russian light infantry and melee. Yeah, it's just 1 die. Nothing. So the French really jumped ahead in round 3 here. You could argue it's because of the cavalry, heavy cavalry activation on both sides, really. But looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 victory banners for the French. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, not as far ahead as I thought. 6 victory banners for the Russians. And I think you need 20 banners, but rarely do you need to play to the very end. It's oftentimes you can tell ahead of time if one side is significantly ahead of the other and just call it. So finish up with whatever comments were written. Looks like Bruce has some things to say. I use D6 die 2 instead of commands and colors or battle cry die. Yeah, it does work better. I believe historically the Ney was chasing off the Prussians, preventing them from joining the Russians. It's probably correct. I seriously doubt in this scenario that Ney's folks are being used correctly, at least historically. Yeah, so Ney's flank attack should be the deciding factor in this battle, much like the Prussians at Plassanois. Maybe. We'll see. Could be. Looks like we'll have to do another round, though, at some point. I thought we could resolve this with 3. But it's still it's still too close to call, I believe. So we'll have to do another round. Win, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm also off Monday because I'm working next Saturday. So either tomorrow or Monday, midday, not late. And try and resolve this. So thanks again for everybody that watched. It always makes it a little more enjoyable to plot along. Anybody has any comments or questions, as usual, post them in the comments section. And take care. All right, guys. Good night.